everybody. Welcome back to the Bullhucker Podcast. I'm Moose Lundstrom.
And I'm Generous, Jenny Nebb.
Generous on the countdown, sister.
I know it.
You found a house.
Found a house. I'm moving June 1st.
That's awesome.
Yes.
You excited?
I'm excited and overwhelmed.
Going to Minnesota?
Going to Minnesota.
You know, like, it snows in, like, late August, and you don't see the ground until April, right?
I know. Well, I'm not going to see the ground at all because I'm going to hibernate.
Not a girl.
Yep.
Don't get a job. Don't do any of that.
Right.
Because you got to leave the house. That's a shit deal.
I'm not leaving the house.
But on your way out, you bring a lot of your friends onto the podcast.
Absolutely. I am. And I'm so excited to have this one in particular. I have known her, probably 30 years at least.
Since you changed my diaper.
Since I changed her diaper. Everybody, I'd like you to meet Kate McBride.
Hello.
Hey, Kate, thank you for coming on.
Yes.
It's awesome to have you here.
Thank you.
This is your first time in the Emporium.
It is.
That's cool. Because she hates brush beat diggers. She already told me. She already said it upstairs.
Well,
I'm a Fort Morgan, sorry.
I
Fort
know.
Morgan for life.
I know.
and I'm going to go ahead and tell you right up front, she hates the Broncos, too.
I do.
Kate McBride.
Yeah.
For shame.
Don't start that argument, because you won't win.
The reason the Mustang thing is in here is because of Dencia Gudrun, because she threatened me. That's why there's a Mustang poster hanging in the
Go Dencia.
Go Dencia.
She's not one I would want to upset.
No, well, you know,
Right.
It's funny because we bet on the game every year.
Oh.
The Brush Fort Morgan game every year. And so far, 2 years, Brush has taken it, thank God. Because if Fort Morgan wins this year, then I have to hide.
When Fort Morgan wins this
Okay,
year?
well, if they win this year, so I'll have to hide. So, because I'm a coward like that.
And a beat digger.
And a beat digger, so what are you going to do? Kate, what do you do for a living?
I breed white golden retrievers.
White golden retrievers. I don't know if I've ever seen a white golden retriever.
They're pretty. And I think I'm on about every board. I'm like the 501c3 board person for the county. I don't know.
Really?
You do so much philanthropic work. Philanthropic. You are also a big higher up in the Golden Stars, or the
Yeah.
head of the Golden Stars here in Fort
Yeah,
Morgan.
the Morgan County Golden Stars.
Very cool. Very cool. What is the Golden Stars for people who don't know?
So we are a nonprofit, and we provide 2 outfits, a pair of shoes, a coat, and 2 toys for every child in a family that needs a hand up during the Christmas season.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Very cool.
It's fun. It's a lot. It's a really rewarding program. Love it.
Right.
And it has to be highly organized. I remember that year I came and wrapped gifts, and it was just an incredible operation going on.
Yeah, we have incredible volunteers, and it's
Right.
it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of work. It's like 2.5 months of full-time elfing.
Right. Yeah, I bet.
But it's great.
I know even at the City of Brush, they have the Giving Tree every year. And Faye, she's awesome. They get all the toys in, they get everything in there, Kate. And I go back to where we have our city council meetings, and it's just packed. I mean, like,
Yeah.
toys everywhere. And I'm like, how do you know what goes where? I mixed up my tags last year because I always grab a boy and a girl, and I'd misplaced them. So they were trying to figure out why. I bought like this, what's that, shark? The baby shark.
Oh, baby shark.
For a 16-year-old boy. They're like, do you not understand that? Did you not understand the lesson, Larry? I'm like, that's for a little girl. I don't know where the tag is, but it's cool to see around those seasons how many people are actually giving and how,
Yeah,
you know.
it's great. We're a great community. Both Brush and Fort Morgan, Wiggins, all of them.
Right.
They're great.
You have to do it.
Yeah.
You have to do it. So, but before we go any further, I do want to say, if you're new, welcome to the Bullhucker Podcast. What we do on here is we're going to guest. Today's Kate McBride. What Kate's going to do is tell us 3 stories about her life. Now, here's the kicker. Only 2 of these stories are true ones, either borrowed, made up, or it's embellished. It's halfway, half and half, right?
Yep.
And at the end of the podcast, General Russ and we didn't do the generous thing, did we?
We did.
Yeah, you
Did we?
did. Yeah,
Okay.
You did.
We did.
I'm getting slow on my
Alzheimer's.
lunch. It is Alzheimer's, early onset, sister. We try and guess, right? So we're going to see how you do, Jen, with one of your friends.
Absolutely.
It's fun for me because we just met today, so I don't know anything about you. I didn't know white golden retrievers actually existed. Why don't they call them white retrievers?
Because they're golden retrievers.
Okay,
Because there's also Labrador retrievers.
that's true.
So if
Okay.
you look at a golden retriever, which have the generous like blonde and
Yeah.
strawberry blondes and reds throughout it,
Right.
these have that same length of hair and look just like them, but they are white.
Okay.
There's a picture.
How did what bunch did we Okay, I'm a little rusty at
words
this.
are hard.
Yeah. Sound it out, Larry. Sound it out.
What made you choose white?
Yeah, what made you pick that
Retrievers.
particular dog?
So, to be honest, it's a little bit of a rebellion because my stepmom and dad always had golden retrievers. And so you got to do something different.
Right.
So why not white?
That's cool. At least it's not Chihuahuas. So,
How fun.
yeah. All right. Kate, you ready to tell some stories?
Sure.
Let's do this,
I'll
man.
do my best.
You want to name them off for me there, Jen?
You betcha. So we have got I Am Not on the Rag. We've got Uninvited Guest. And we have got Don't Ask, Don't Tell.
I'm a big sucker for great titles, by the way.
Okay.
I like it. It's fun.
Yes.
It's why don't you pick it out, Jen? This is on your victory lap.
I
so.
want to go right off the bat with Uninvited Guest.
All right.
Okay. So we have a second home in Texas on the lake. And I was there a couple of months ago. And we have one of those keypads on the door that you have to have the batteries in. Texas is a little bit different of a atmosphere, so the humidity kills batteries so fast. So it's one of the first things that I do when I get there. Open the door, change the battery. So you have to undo the stupid thing. Doors open, go into the kitchen to get some new batteries to fill it up. Come back, and I have my fireplace on because it's a little bit cold. It was March, maybe February, end of February, March. And there is a snake in the house right in front of the fireplace.
What kind of snake?
Well, I don't know. It's a
Okay.
brown snake. It looks like an anaconda to me. It is huge. So I do what every American does. I take a picture of it, right?
course.
Because you have to have proof. So I take a
Right.
picture of it. I FaceTime Jen, who is terrified of snakes. And I'm like, honey, I'm going to show you something. Don't freak out. She's like, okay, because she's here, I'm there. And I show her the snake. Our floor is also kind of brown. It was a brown snake, so a little bit hard to see, but she's like, oh my God, get a shovel, cut its head off, burn the house down.
Right.
Like, come home.
Right. And I'm like, okay, I don't know what to do right now because there's no, like I said, I just got there. The shed in the backyard is locked, so I can't just go grab a shovel. I'm going
Right.
to have to go find the key, go outside, unlock the, there's a process, right?
Right.
So, and the snake hasn't really done anything to me to kill it, right?
Right.
So she says,
Like a fly on the wall.
right?
Listen, if it was a man who broke into your house, you'd kill it too, right? Or somebody
Again,
come
I'd have to
shooter.
go out, get a shovel to hit the guy
I'm
or a
just
hammer.
saying.
Especially, huh?
To that point, they haven't done anything to you either, but they're
That's
going to get
right.
it.
That's
So
right.
fair enough, yeah.
So Jen tells me the next best thing. She says, go get a dustpan and scoop it up and take it outside. Okay, that makes complete sense to me, right? So I know where the dustpan is because it's in the laundry room. So I run to the laundry room praying that the snake doesn't disappear because I'm not sleeping in the house if I don't know where the snake is.
Right.
I go get the dustpan, I scoop it up. Of course I'm recording this whole thing, right? Because
course.
that's what we do. I scoop it up, I take it outside, and my hand's shaking so much that it flips out of the dustpan. I scream, run back in the house, close the door, and there's no more snake. The next morning, my next door neighbor comes over and I tell her about the snake. She has me send her the picture of it, and I find out from her husband that it was a copperhead.
Oh, no.
Oh.
I never in a million years thought about the snake striking me from the
Right.
dustpan, and I guess it was a baby.
So, yeah,
babies
they're
have more
really-
venom, I
yeah.
guess, or they
Yeah,
can't
they'll
control
hurt.
it.
They
Yeah.
don't know how to hold back yet, so you get the full dose. Yeah.
So my only concern is that where there's a baby, there's a mom and a dad, and probably brothers and sisters
Right.
somewhere. So my neighbor, she said, you had to let it go in the yard between our houses. So now she walks all the way to the street to come to my house.
Right.
And she had a dog door, and she keeps her dog door closed now because she doesn't want any snakes to come into her house.
Right.
So that's my
Oh my goodness, a
Uninvited
copperhead.
guest.
That's terrifying.
It's crazy terrifying.
And now, really, anaconda, how big was the snake?
It was
Let's
probably
see.
like a foot.
It's
I mean,
a newborn.
I thought you were going to
Yeah.
go like old fisherman story, like where the snake got big with
No,
the
I
story.
mean, it
Okay.
was-
All right.
Well,
But still.
anaconda, I agree. If one startles me, it's terrifying.
well, it shouldn't be in the house. She
Right.
put it on this next door app and was like, what kind of snake is this? And people are like, one that shouldn't be in your house.
Right. The dealer of death. That's
And
what
then
it
they
is.
try to tell you how to tell if it's a venomous snake. I don't know. They all look the same to me. I'm not going to be
Right.
like, are
Right.
your eyes squinty? Or
Yeah, yeah.
I don't
Right.
care.
Snake looked that way while you count the diamonds on your back,
Right.
please. So yeah, we got to make
Yeah.
sure you're not going to kill me. I work for DFA, drive a milk tanker.
Okay.
And some of these dairies underneath the scales, all the older guys are like, there's always rattlesnakes in the summer under those. I have yet to see one, but for like the first 2 years I worked there, I'd get off the scale and I get like really like weird, you know, like
Yeah.
tiptoe, because I'm just waiting for. I'm wearing boots, so I'm pretty good to have a chance. But yeah, it's scary stuff, man. For
Yeah,
sure.
they're still scary.
Gilbert, the owner of this place, actually had a story when he was on here about being a teenager and a snake biting him on his family's ranch. But it spooked the horse, so the horse bolts on him. So he's got to walk back with his venom coursing through his veins. It almost killed him. So
I got bit as a small child too.
really,
Down in the Bijou Creek, riding the 3-wheeler and 4-wheeler.
were you asking for it though,
No.
Jennifer?
I was riding my 3-wheeler and I didn't realize it was right there, and I rode the 3-wheeler too close and
Right.
it got my ankle.
Really?
And my brother was with me, and I was only about 7, and he tourniqueted it off, and we had to ride up out of the creek up to the house, and then I had to go to the hospital.
Oh, yeah.
It did not almost kill at we were at the hospital within an hour.
It was a rattler?
Yes.
Oh my.
A big one. Like
Really?
not a baby.
And in Texas, I guess everybody has venom, so it's
Oh.
Yeah.
yeah.
I didn't. All the desert snakes out there do.
yeah, they're ready.
Interesting.
It's like America's Australia in Texas, right? Everything's trying to
Yeah.
kill you.
I did buy new weather stripping
No, I
the
bet.
There
next
you
day.
go.
So,
I bet. But I mean, you never know where they got it from either. Was there a basement in the house?
Well, it was from the door because I had the door open while I was getting the
Oh,
batteries.
I see.
So it went like under the storm door and into the house. But now there's no way you can go under the storm
There's
door.
no way a snake will ever be found in the house
Not
again.
that way anyway.
Yeah. That's crazy. What do you think about that, Jen?
She's got the breed right. There are definitely copperheads down there, and there's no doubt. We used to get snakes in our house all the time when I was growing up out on the farm, and yeah, usually bull snakes, which you don't want to kill because they keep the
Yeah.
rattlesnakes away. But
We've never had them in the house. But
you
we have 'em in
still
our
want to
yard.
kill one when they're in your house, no
Right.
matter what. You just throw its carcass right off the deck. So I think that's perfectly believable. Location, geographically, it's correct. So yeah, so far I'm drinking the Kool-Aid.
Easy peasy. I like it. It's a very relatable story, so it could happen very easy to anybody. Eric Christensen, do you guys know Eric? He lived out south of town.
Yeah.
He on Facebook. If you're friends with him on Facebook, he kills the rattlers like all summer long. Well, he's in Oregon now, but when he'd always have it on Facebook. I mean, he'd just walk up and kill them, like no fear.
And when they're little, they're in balls.
Yeah.
Yeah, whole balls of them trying to roll around, be warm in the ditches.
Yeah, it was definitely coming to the fireplace to warm up.
Yeah.
Scary.
Go to my neighbor's house. So
They're ancient, creepy creatures, and they should have legs. It's so strange to me.
a lot of people keep those as pets, man. Well, not those, but snakes in general. I don't. No thanks, not in the house. So, all right, that was a great story. Uninvited guest. We have 2 left. I am not on the rag, and don't ask, don't tell. Well, there's always one that pops out to me, but I always keep it for last. So instead, let's hear don't ask, don't tell.
Okay. So, I don't know, 5 or 6 years ago, maybe it was longer, Jen and I went to Ireland and kind of got into our roots and everything. And so we decided when we came back to do 23andMe and see who was more Irish.
Oh, so both of you are Irish.
Yeah, hello, red hair.
Well, I
very
figured
nice.
you were, but
She
Jen's
seemed-
dyeing her hair these days, obviously.
She seems to think she's more Irish. So we did 23andMe. Obviously, I was more Irish and kind of forgot about it. Didn't do it anymore. The kids didn't really want to do theirs for different reasons. And then Toby was over one day and he was talking about how Irish he was. And so then we all, got on ours and looked. So it shows you if you have relatives, DNA relatives or whatever. And we had just seen a scary movie. I can't remember which one it was, but like that night had just seen it. And I'm reading my 23andMe and I throw my phone. I throw it. I'm just like, what? And Jen picks it up and she's like, what? And I'm like, look. And again, she's like, what? I'm all, I have a half sister.
Wow.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting that. Like, what do you mean I have a half sister? What does this mean? Like, how do I have a half sister? It doesn't say mom's side, doesn't say dad's side. It just says that I have this half sister.
Right.
So freaking out. So then I go to, I guess you can message people within the app.
Okay.
It's been years since I've
So
checked
then
it.
you
me
can just
too.
reach right out to them. Hey, brother.
Yeah.
Wow,
So
I did not
hadn't-
know that.
Yeah, hadn't checked out. So there was a message, a year old. oops, from this half-sister saying, hey, looks like we're related. Let's talk.
Right.
So here I am. I look like the jerk that hasn't responded for a year when I didn't know. And it was like Easter weekend. So, of course, it's a holiday weekend. So right away I kick off a message back. I'm like, whoa, like, is this, like, tell me more. Is this my mom? Is this my dad? Like, what is this? Was I adopted? What's going on? I'm freaking out, really. So what started out to be a fun little, let's see who's more Irish, has now turned into a Dateline episode, right? Because here we are. So, of course, it's a weekend, so she hadn't checked her messages, and it was probably a week before I'd given her my phone number, call me. So she calls, and it's kind of awkward because you're like, we're related, but how? And so she had been like, her dad had died, so she couldn't ask her dad. And she asked her mom, and her mom wasn't very forthcoming with any information. And so I'm like, so you don't know if it's mom or dad or what? And she doesn't know.
Is she older or younger, Kate?
She's older.
She's older than you.
3 years older.
Okay.
So, I mean, how do you get more information? Well, you're going to have to go to the parents, right? So her mom isn't very forthcoming. So I don't know if my mom, like, did my mom put up a kid for adoption and didn't tell?
Right.
Or, I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, my mom's passed away, so there's only one person to ask. So I asked my dad to come over. We got to talk about this. But meanwhile, I run to Walgreens and get another 23andMe test kit, because in my mind, it makes complete sense that dad takes a little DNA swab and we get to the bottom of this, right?
Right.
So dad comes over, and that's an uncomfortable conversation to have.
I bet.
And he's not having the DNA test, not having it at all. Let's leave well enough alone. No, this isn't a good idea. It's not your mom, it's me. Okay, so this is your kid and you know about it, and I need you to spill the tea right now.
Yeah.
I need a lot more information.
Right.
So come to find out, he had an affair. I don't know. He was single, so I don't know if it's an affair. A girlfriend. They got together, and she told him that she was pregnant, and he told her that he only had one testicle and he shot blanks. How she didn't notice that he had two testicles, I don't know. That happened in the dark, not my business.
Standard excuse for most men, by the way. They teach us that in sex ed, so just so you know.
She clearly was not a ball fondler.
It happened at Lake McConaughey, which is interesting because I was conceived at Lake McConaughey, and so was my brother. So totally fit in, right? Dad likes Lake McConaughey.
Yeah, he has fun of lakes. Yeah.
Yes,
spot.
and he shoots blanks, right? Obviously. He said that she moved. She lived like in Pueblo down south. I don't remember if it was Pueblo or one of the towns down south.
Sure.
And wanted to marry him, and he said no. Like, they weren't in love. This was a summer fling. And so she married a man shortly after she knew she was pregnant, like within about 8 weeks.
Oh, wow.
And back then, you kind of passed it off, right? I mean, that's what you did. And so this guy didn't know. And
so this man never knew that this girl was not his daughter.
He did not, and he passed away.
Oh, it sucks.
Yeah.
Wow.
And so now she wants a relationship with my dad, and he's kind of like...
Have you met her?
Well, I hadn't then, but I have met her since then, yes.
I'm sorry.
Many
Continue
times.
on.
Yeah, many times. Interesting. She's a lesbian. Kind of interesting.
Really?
Yeah. So maybe it's his genes, right?
Maybe it's some lake sex thing. Who knows?
Maybe
we're
if
onto
you're
something.
conceived at the
Maybe
lake,
there's something in the water at McConaughey.
right?
Soy
Anacondas.
milk.
Anacondas.
That's right.
Anacondas.
So yes, we've met several times. Really nice.
Yeah.
She has 2 boys. Love them. Super nice. Yeah.
How old are the boys?
What? Josh is
your
like,
kid's age or no?
No, they're a little bit older.
Okay.
Yeah, and Josh lives in Florida, has a girlfriend, and her and I text all the time. She's awesome. Love her.
Right.
And then Caleb came to one of our we have a Les Fest camping trip, and Caleb came with his girlfriend.
I want to come to the Les Fest camping
We even
trip.
have T-shirts. We're awesome.
Oh, did you see my T-shirt that I'm wearing tonight?
That's a good T-shirt.
Everybody, I am wearing my home pride for Trey McBride, who happens to be Kate's son, and he plays for the Arizona Cardinals. This will be his 3rd year, right?
Yep.
God bless Brandon upstairs starts insulting it. I'm like, it's her parents. It's his parents. It's his parents.
And he knew. He's like, I know.
He's trying to backpedal is what he was trying to do.
Yeah.
He's like,
As a side note, when I'm with Trey sometimes in Arizona, it's sad because people will be like, Cardinals suck, and he just has to be like, hey, thanks.
yeah.
I mean, because you're always on, right? It's like,
Yeah,
oh
yeah.
my
Sure.
God, that's hard. You know?
I don't even
I'll
chew
bet.
McDonald's.
I'll bet that the lifestyle of that is all of it. I mean, not only are they amazing athletes and hard workers there, but then they have to avoid the paparazzi and the hate.
What they have to avoid is somebody trying to piss them off and get it on film. That's
Yeah,
what they're trying
because
to do.
everybody's filming you.
Yeah, of
Everybody.
course they do. And they're waiting for him to snap
Yep.
and be like, Trey McBride kills 3 people. You know what I mean? When he just yelled at one person. You know what I mean? It gets
Right.
crazy right away online, and you believe it, you know. But that's kind of crazy with 23andMe.
Yes.
Like, my dad's a hoe, and I did it, and I was shocked. I mean, there's been a few of us. You know what I mean? So
I knew you had done it, but you have several half siblings.
yeah, a few, but I think I know of all of them. So when he was in Vietnam, Mom swears he came back and says that he has a child over there. And I asked him, he's like, I don't know what she's talking about. I'm like, why would you, you know? And I get along with my dad. We're cool. But my grandfather actually had an affair we didn't know about until I was maybe a freshman in high school.
Oh.
And he finally came clean about my Uncle Mike, who is 4 years younger than me.
It's his.
It's his.
But
it's
not
his
his wife's. Or,
No, it wasn't grandma's. So
Got
it was,
you,
he
got
was on
you.
a public service
It
trip
is.
in Pueblo.
It's a tender conversation,
Yes, yeah.
and he didn't do anything wrong. He wasn't married.
Right.
I guess what he did wrong was like not claim her. He knew.
Yeah.
He said that he went down there one time and said, "Have you seen this girl? I heard she had a baby." And people were like, "Oh, she moved to California."
But she also kind of pawned the baby off on another
Right.
guy.
Right. It could have been handled differently, but I don't know that anybody did anything wrong.
You can't really
Right.
judge unless you're in their shoes anyway.
Right,
Do you know what I mean? You don't know
Yeah.
the whole situation.
And it was a
or-
different time.
Right.
It was absolutely a different time.
Right.
So who's more Irish?
Oh, yeah, we never got.
I am. 100%.
Get a recount. Get a
I
recount.
had forgotten what we were even talking about because I was fascinated. I've never done 23andMe.
No?
Because I'm adopted. And I always said, what if they had more
Right.
babies that they kept and loved? And I couldn't take that kind of rejection.
We've had this discussion, though. I mean, you ended up with a family who loved you, though, right?
I
So I
had a
would
fabulous
I
child.
would say
And maybe they weren't ready.
Yeah.
Like maybe you were the first one. You know what I mean?
Your
You were the
brother-
practice. You're the
your-
practice kid.
Well, they practiced really good by getting rid of me then. No, that's funny. I have no feelings of abandonment. And yes, I had a great childhood. And I guess maybe I just haven't done it yet out of that fear.
I don't know.
of-
It does kind
the
of
what
open
if.
some doors that I don't know. Maybe they should stay
Right.
closed.
Yeah.
Right.
And I mean, maybe your birth mother loved you enough to send you away to where you'd be better off.
Maybe.
Maybe she's in a bad situation.
Or maybe she said, that one defective.
You know what's crazy about the 23andMe, because I had it done, obviously. It pinpointed the town my great-grandfather was from in Sweden.
Really?
Yeah, like the area he's from. It pinpointed it as my great-grandmother from Chihuahua, Mexico. Huh. It was nuts, because I showed Mom the Sweden thing. She's like, yeah, your great-grandfather's from that area. And I was like, that's weird. That's crazy they can do that, you know?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, my dad
Interesting.
won't do it, so I won't get that piece. So
yeah.
I mean, I guess it kind of starts with me, really.
You could drug him, and then when he's sleeping, just swab his mouth.
Yeah, and then I'm going to find out like 20 half brothers and sisters. I don't know if I want to do that.
Tweeze a hair.
Then don't I have to share the will with them?
That's right. That's right.
Be careful.
Then you can't ever get divorced to Jen because you're related to everybody else. You know what I
Right?
mean? So,
Well, I'm not from Fort Morgan.
okay.
I
All
would be
right.
related to everybody.
okay.
And where are you've told me before, but where are you originally from?
So I grew up in California. I was born in St. Louis, but I
Okay.
spent most of my life in California, and my parents moved to Hawaii, and
Nice.
so yeah.
Very nice.
Pretty cool story. I really like that. That's cool.
That was a fun one. And also with 23andMe, who knows what's going to pop out of that Jack in the Box?
Yeah.
That is also very believable to me. There was a lot of confusion in the distribution of the sperm is the only way I can put it. You know what I mean? But yeah, I mean, families that become so blended, you never know. And in my the difficulty of trying to find the source.
Yeah. And it's it's kind of a sensitive subject because I didn't
Very
know if my mom had
sensitive.
maybe put a baby up for adoption before she met my dad, and maybe he didn't know. I mean,
Right.
am I like telling her secret. I
Right.
don't know.
Right. That is tough.
But thankfully, he knew. You know what I
Right.
mean? He was like, "It's not your mom, it's me." And I was like, "Oh, thank God." Because I just called my mom a slut.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, you're
I
lucky
just
your
let
dad
her
was.
have it.
You're lucky he's honest. He could have been really dishonest, but I was like, must be
That's
your
when the
mom.
swab would have come in. I was ready.
Yeah. Hold him down. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's funny. So,
I got you, old man.
Yeah, I got you. No, I think it's cool. Imagine a couple generations what they're going to have with
Yeah.
everybody doing 23andMe.
It'll probably just be like an eye scan or something.
Yeah, it'll be nuts. It'll be crazy. So, all right. What do you think, Jen?
I think that was a wonderful story. I enjoyed that very much, and I'm always fascinated by anybody who's done it and what they do find out.
Right.
But I also completely agree with your points of unfavorable subjects and uncomfortable, and
Right.
but you want to know because we have that deep-seated root to know.
Yeah. We're nosy.
Yeah.
We are. We're totally nosy
Yeah.
as
Yes.
humans.
You always want to know where you come from, you know? Did you look at your dad different at all or no?
No, I don't
That's
think
cool.
so.
Yeah. You never could, well, like I said, you never know what people are going through at that time. So,
Yeah.
for sure. I really like that story, and so that's why I'm hoping it's not the false one. I'll be very upset, Kate. So,
You've never seen him when he's very upset.
yeah, you won't
I
like me when I'm
haven't.
angry.
Neither have I.
All right. There are two great ones down. Uninvited guest and don't ask, don't tell. One left. I am not on the rag.
Okay, so this one, it was the morning. All my kids used to take the bus. I'm not going to say which child it was, but one child had not done his chores and was on my nerves, my very last nerve. And I had gone in and yelled at him, take out the trash. And like most preteens, he had an attitude. So I continued to yell at him, and I think I told him that he wasn't going to get to play baseball that weekend because I was sick of his crap. I was unloading the dishwasher at the time and went to dry my hands and use the last of the paper towels, and so I had that little cardboard paper towel
Right.
thing in my hand. And he was sitting on the counter. If you've ever been to our house, it has like 4 stools at the island type thing, countertop. And under his breath, but loud enough for me to hear, he said, "I don't know what your problem is. You must be on the rag or something." Yeah, that is not something to say to your mother when she's
No.
already in a bad mood. So I had the paper towel thing, and I was hitting him, and I said, "You do not ask a girl if she is on the rag ever!" And I hit him with it. And then the bus comes, and he's out the door to school, and he's traumatized by it. He still tells the story. He thinks that I'm the meanest mom ever to
course.
this day. And I said, if you learned anything from me, please don't ever ask your girlfriend if she's on the rag.
Right.
Or say anything like that.
Or insinuate it
Yes.
whatsoever.
Yes.
Right.
So
That's
it's
worse-
a short story, but it's
That's
a
worse
fun
than
one.
saying calm down to a woman.
Yes.
Something about being on the rag.
Exactly.
Yeah,
And your
yeah.
mom? I would have never said something like that to my mom.
Oh, I probably said it to my mom. I love you, Mom.
Were you hard? Were you difficult? Were you a handful?
I was yes. Absolutely.
What? She still is.
Yes.
Yeah.
I was a difficult, smart-ass, sarcastic, didn't give a fuck child.
Yeah.
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 Just like she is as an adult.
Right.
Yes.
Right. I'm much bigger than my mother, obviously. She's a little
too.
thing. And I remember the only one time she's had to slap me around. I got mad. I don't remember what it was. And I walked in the bathroom and I slammed the door on her. And that door got kicked in. And yeah, I was getting in the shower and I was butt naked. And she didn't care, man. She came there swinging, man. That taught me the lesson there. So I didn't say the rag thing. I just slammed the door in her face, and that was the wrong choice, Mom. Sorry. So
The one time Owen made me really mad, and he was already bigger than me, and almost a grown man. And he pissed me off one day, and he wouldn't get out of bed, and he's old enough to get out of bed. And I went up there and punched him upside the side of his ear, and it was one of the biggest mistakes. The minute I did it, I was like, I better run. We ended up with a hole in the wall. He's never gonna hurt a woman, but by God, he'll hit that wall. So yeah, kids. Oh,
Yeah. We had a drywall guy when the kids were growing up because we had a lot of holes.
drywall guy.
in our
Well, I
drywall.
mean, yeah, you had
Very physical boys.
5 kids, and yes, very physical boys, very active boys.
Yeah.
are they all boys?
I had 4 boys and a girl.
Okay. Still,
Her youngest, Taya, will be graduating here.
Yeah, I mean, she's 6'1", so she's not a small girl.
Really? Your son Trey's pretty big, as I recall.
All of them are.
Well, I remember because I used to DJ high school dances,
Oh, okay.
and I didn't know who he was, but I remember thinking that's a big kid, and it was me and like soccer moms were the only people in this room, and I'm like, I don't know what this kid is, but if he gets out of control, tackle him by the legs, all the soccer moms just start dogpiling on him. But
They were good kids.
yeah,
I
he seemed
was
super
lucky.
nice.
They
You
were
just
good kids.
Every last one of them.
They're good kids.
Super kids.
that's cool, man. So, all right, Jen. Well, do you have one in mind?
I do have one in mind, and I'm even already imagining in my head who muttered under their breath about you being on the rag, and I know I've nailed it. So
Before we pick, though,
right.
I do gotta say, thank you to the Brush Emporium for letting us have this great place down here to do our podcast, 210 Clayton Street. If you haven't been here, what are you waiting for? Come down and check it out. They have pizza, wings, you name it, ice cream, frozen yogurt. They do pastas, everything. They have a great place upstairs to eat with your family. And if you didn't notice, on one wall they have like the old school board games.
Oh.
So you can come down with your family, come play board games, do all that good stuff. Also, local people bring their stuff in here to sell, right? They have a lot of cool stuff up there in the shop. So if you
there's
want
so much cool stuff up there, you guys. And I just recently saw they do dollar wings on Wednesday. Is it dollar wings on Wednesdays?
yeah, they have wings on Wednesday. I'm not sure what the deal is now, but it was $1 for a while.
Cheaper wings on Wednesday.
Right, and this is a great place down here. It's owned by 4 people who love this town, and that's why they did it. And also to have a place where people can sell their wares, right? So if you want a unique gift, come on down here, 210 Clayton Street. Check out the Brush Emporium,
Yes.
right? Do some horn.
Yes.
I got my horn done.
Absolutely.
So, yeah. That's why I tease them.
Hoeing.
I'm excited to try it. Pretzels and beer cheese. Can't go wrong with that.
Very
Yum.
good, very good. So, and they've had a lot of success down here. So it's been very cool. So the only thing they're missing is a coffee shop, I guess. So we're not like Fort Morgan to have 55 coffee shops. So
Right?
there's more moving in too.
Taya just got a job at Scooters, so she'll be saying, "Scoot on up."
Is that what it is? Is that
Yeah,
what they
when
do?
you order, I guess they say,
Is that
"Scoot
what
on
they
up."
say?
Oh, really?
Their coffee's actually really good. I've
it?
enjoyed the Greeley one for many years.
Really?
Yep.
We have the. Do you ever go to the block? The Magic Bean in there?
I haven't. I'm not a coffee drinker.
See, neither am I.
Yeah.
But they sponsor us from time to time here on the podcast. So
Cool.
good friends of mine order the Orcuts. So very cool. I'm with you. It's dessert.
I don't drink coffee at all.
Yeah.
It's so delicious. It's my favorite calories in the whole world.
It's Jen's too. She drinks coffee all day.
Live off it. Well, I mean, there's a need for it because literally there's how many coffee shops now?
Yeah, there's a lot.
And there'll be more. So, all right. Having said that, we're going to start guessing. Before we guess, though, we rock, paper, scissors to see who has to go first.
That's right.
Kate, how do you rock, paper, scissors?
How? Like this?
Yeah. Okay.
How do you play? Do you do 1, 2, 3, shoot?
Yes.
Or do you do 1, 2, shoot?
No, 1, 2, 3, shoot.
1, 2, 3, shoot. So
Four
you are
pumper.
a 4 pumper.
Okay.
There's 2 different ways
Have
to
you
do it.
ever
We can
done a
find
4
out.
pumper in your life? I'm getting
I
real
don't think I've
deep
done a
now.
1 pumper.
Good for you.
All right, so we're doing 4 because that's what
You set me up.
Ready?
Yeah.
All right. It's horrible. All right, 3 great stories. I am not on the rag, uninvited guest, and don't ask, don't tell. I'm going to say don't ask, don't tell is a true story. I really want it to be a true story. I think that's cool. That's a cool story. It's cool to, if anything else, you got a cool sister now, right?
Yeah.
And where does she live?
She lives in Oklahoma.
So it's a ways away.
Yeah.
Well, on your way to Texas, I
It's
guess,
not bad,
right?
though.
Yeah.
It's not too bad.
That's cool. But I think that's really cool. I've also, like I said, had siblings I found along the way, so pretty fun. Anyway, I am not on the rag. That's a really simple story, but I'm going to say that one's true. I'm going to say that's a mom beating her kid. That's a good thing when they're old.
Called
'cause-
DHS.
well, you know what? I don't think you shit on teenage boys. You know what I mean? Because they probably have it coming, right? Beat them all. I'm going to go with uninvited guest. I think because it's a very simple story. I think that'd be the easiest one to try and make up if you're going to make one up. So
Okay.
that's what I'm going with there.
Interesting.
Yeah. What do you think there, Jennifer?
Oh, man, I don't know. Okay. I'm having a terrible time.
Which one do you think one's true for sure?
Yeah, I think I am not on the rag is absolutely true.
You think she slapped
She
him around?
knows my kids.
I
Right.
can envision it in my head. Him sitting on the bar stool. Yeah. Okay. I am. going to go with don't ask, don't tell.
How come?
Too much detail.
Really?
Yeah, and then I had trouble following along, which I know that you know the detail and are able to tell, but the family lineage was a little crazy for me. So for that reason alone, and it was very expressive, not explicit. But yeah, maybe a little bit too much detail, and I'm hard pressed, but I have to go with one. I'm gonna go with don't ask.
Do you guys
don't
ever
tell.
pick the same one?
Sometimes.
Okay.
It depends.
Yep.
I'll tell you, Kate, we're not good at this. Jen and I do not make a good team. If you are ever going to court and we're in your jury, your odds are pretty great. So it's right.
Yep, that's right.
I didn't do these stats from last year. I usually do. I haven't had a chance to get them done. I usually do the stats on how many we got right and who got that. And Dencia always wins every year. Like, she co-hosts from time to time.
Dencia nails them.
Every time, dude. I don't know what it is. She's a weirdo. That's what it is. But anyway, so you're taking which one?
Don't ask, don't tell.
I'm taking uninvited guest. Kate, let's see your board.
Dun 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 dun.
What's not true about that?
Fist
So I
bumps.
stole it. It's Jen's story. It's true story,
Really?
but Jen found the sister.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Was the sister more Irish or is Jen? She's on next, so we'll ask.
Who's got more Irish in them?
That's an awesome story still, but it's a true story.
It's a true
It's just a
story.
borrowed story.
Just borrowed it.
That's very
stole it,
cool.
whatever.
I'll have to-
Amazing.
Yep.
So, I'm Not on the Rag is a true story.
It is a true story.
Yeah. Do you guys ever laugh about it?
Yeah.
Is it pretty fresh?
No.
It's been a while.
Yeah, they were like middle school.
All right, so I think she just told us who it was. So that's
That is fun. Oh,
The kids, they were middle school.
okay.
yep, all of them. They're all very close in age.
Oh, are they
The-
close in age? Okay.
Yeah, the 4 boys definitely, and then
And Taya came 6 years later.
Yeah, Taya's a little bit younger.
Okay.
Yeah.
And she's the youngest. She's the baby. Okay.
She's 18 now.
And uninvited guest, unfortunately, is a
Yes,
true
it's
story.
a true story.
Terrifying.
That's crazy. Copperhead. I don't think I've ever seen one.
Come to Texas.
No,
Yeah.
I'm good.
They
I'm
look
all
like
good.
they look like a rattlesnake, but they've got a little bit more smushed of a face,
Oh, really?
almost like the diamond.
Yeah, I wasn't getting close enough to his
Yeah,
face.
their faces look like you kind of just took an iron with a little square waffle and went tss on top of their head. Tss.
So they are very poisonous, like more than rattlesnakes, or I'm not sure. Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah.
They're all in that same genre or class, but
Yeah.
I do believe they are definitely the babies.
That's cool. Well, before we go, I do want to ask, how long you been doing the dog thing for?
Like close to 30 years.
30, jeez.
Maybe longer. I guess Bryce is going to be 30, so maybe like 32 years.
Really?
Oh, geez, that makes me feel old.
You guys have such a busy life too. You're probably just like, where did the last 32 years go?
Exactly,
Right.
exactly.
How many puppies do you think you've had over 30 years?
Oh, hundreds.
Hundreds of them.
Yeah.
Oh, and you name them. All of them are named. Whether before they go, at least they all have names that are Hawaiian, if I remember correctly, which I think is so neat.
Yeah, our dog. It's funny when people call about a dog and they have no idea. Like Kihei, they'll be like, "I'm calling about Kahaiki."
Kihei is one of my favorite places to be in all the world.
Yeah,
Really?
so-
Yeah.
How long did you live in Hawaii for?
well, my parents lived in Hawaii.
Oh, but you weren't.
So they lived on Maui for 20 years.
I got you.
So we went to Maui a lot.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Huh. What's the biggest challenge about being a dog breeder?
You meet some really strange people.
Right.
And no matter like how long they've had a dog, if the dog limps or whatever, it's my fault.
Right.
It doesn't matter if the dog's 5 years old, it's my fault.
Right.
I'm a bad breeder.
What did you do to the dog?
Yeah. Yeah.
They try and
So-
get their money back? Is that what it is?
Yeah,
Is that-
we had a guy who had an 8-week-old puppy, let it outside, admits that it ate dirt and rocks. It died. They x-rayed it. It had dirt and rocks in its body, and it's my fault.
Of course.
My fault.
That's amazing
Yeah.
to me. But you know what? It doesn't surprise me either.
Yeah, people are crazy.
Yes.
Is it hard to trust some people when they come get a dog?
Yeah, I mean, some people you can tell right away. You're like, oh, you know what? I just sold this one online. Sorry. But,
Yeah.
and we have really great people, too, that have
Right.
come back. Or what really makes me feel old is they're like, oh, and when I was little, we came out and picked a dog, and now I'm married, and I want one for my kids. I'm like,
Right.
oh, gosh, that makes me feel old.
Yeah.
And we have lots of repeat buyers. And
That's very
so-
cool. I'd feel, man, it just got to be a lot of pressure to make sure they go to good homes. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? That's because people are evil. They're
Yeah,
some-
not that I know of. We've never had anybody that's harmful.
cool.
But, some people don't take as great a care of dogs
Right.
or they put them in the backyard or...
Right. I'm going to say a friend from Oklahoma. I still don't know to this day who did this to me. But they put my name in one of those nickel, what are they called? The Lucky Nickel, like the free papers they have.
Oh,
You can
okay,
pick
okay.
up.
Oh, the thrifty nickel.
Thrifty Nickel, thank you. As a corgi dealer. And I kept getting these texts and phone calls about corgi. At first, I go, what the hell's a corgi? I had no clue what a corgi dog
They're
was.
so cute, too.
So people kept calling and calling. I'm like, I don't know what this is. Finally, they'd call me like, do you have any mails left? I'm like, no. Do you have any at all? No. They'd call. I'm like, you know what? I'm out. You don't have any more? No, I sold half and ate the rest. And they're like, oh, So finally, I call this paper and I'm like, hey, here's my phone number. I think you have misprinted. My number is under some ad. And they're like, well, where are you from? I'm like, I'm from Colorado. She's like, you're not from Oklahoma? I go, no. She hangs up on me.
Oh.
Well, because there's no chance of me showing up at her door, or I'm going to have to really be pissed off to go. But yeah, that's my dog dealer.
Maybe it was
wow.
Jen's sister in Oklahoma that put your name in.
Oh my gosh. Ma'am, how Irish are you? I'm going to ask her that. So.
We need to know.
All right. Kate McBride, you have a good time?
Yes, it was fun.
You want to go first, get it over with, because
Yep.
you weren't sure.
I'm going to get it over with. Because Jen's a talker.
Yeah, you did an awesome job. And she's also law enforcement.
Yeah.
That makes for some crazy stories, too. So they see the best of people, right?
I know.
I think
hope
she
we
has a
get
law
one.
enforcement story.
Does she really?
I think so.
Yay.
I'm in. Kate McBride, it was awesome to meet you.
Yeah, nice to meet you. Thanks for having me.
Thank you so much for coming on, Kate.
course.
This has just been so much fun.
Right. And if you enjoyed what you see, please, on the bottom right-hand corner of the screen, and there's a little right subscribe button, go and push that bad boy. It's a small click for you, but a huge click for us. Right, Jennifer?
That's right. Oh,
Your Minnesota ass. Anyway, I'm Moose Lundstrom.
I'm generous,
Hey.
Jenny Neb.
Generous. We'll catch you next time. Peace.
Bye.
That was great.